from Los Angeles, California, with the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Hello there, friends! And welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name is Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who has made his pants and underwear disappear and is now using his magic powers to wag his boner in front of us. That's Geoff Clark.
What's up, Illuminati?
And transmitting to us from Hogwarts, the bearded booger-eating Slytherin known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo!
Oh yeah, baby. Got a fat one for you today. Open wide. That was inappropriate. We didn't have to go that far.
Got
Sorry.
the Earthmaster of podcasts today.
Coming out of the gate a little aggressive. Sorry about that, folks. We're just excited. We have a big heaping serving of podcast to serve you. And it's about time we get right into it. I mean, last week we were talking about how my fucking car exploded and had to get it towed.
I mean, that's a little bit dramatic of a representation of what happened.
My car turned into a haunted house. So much so that the mechanic was stumped for a couple of days. And
I thought we reached the agreement that it was probably just a battery.
we did, but the professionals looking at it were stumped. And anybody who's been listening to this show for a long time knows that I'm essentially a human EMP. There's constantly things happening, and then when I try to get them fixed, I've never seen this before. You know, I've been plagued for probably over a decade now of this weird static thing that pops up on recordings from time to time, and we don't hear it during the show, and then I find it afterwards, and God damn it, if there was ever a purpose for AI, the second Chat GPT can just like do a swipe of the episode and remove that shit anytime it pops up. That'll be a great day. But I've had some very, very smart computer folks analyze it, and no one can figure it out. Anytime I have a computer problem, same thing. Oh, I've never seen this. So I'm texting with this guy, and I'm like, hey, how's the car looking? Well, we've tried a few things and can't figure it out. The foreman's going to look at it tomorrow. So the shop closes at 5, and the next day it's getting close to 5, and I'm like, hey, the fuck? And turns out it was the fucking battery. How? What? You got stumped?
So, yeah, Kevin, that sounds more like you are going to a janky mechanic than anything. Like a quick Google search told us it was the battery. So that's the first thing they should have checked and changed.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy said they tried to jump it and see what would happen, and that didn't work. Why they needed the foreman to analyze? Let me see if I got what he said in the fucking text. Damn it! Uno momento, por favor. But so at the end of the day, I had to get the car towed there. New battery was $180. Cost me $100 for them to diagnose the problem, and then to take out the old battery, replace the new one, and dispose of it properly. That was another $160. So, yeah, I add all that shit up, and that kind of sucked asshole.
They see you coming from a mile away.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know if most mechanics, when they diagnose you, they throw you a freebie, or if the labor is free, but I don't know. That's what they fucking hit me with.
Well, that's what I was saying. When I got my battery changed at AutoZone, I'm pretty sure they just did it like they did it in the parking lot.
Yeah, well, I didn't get my car towed to AutoZone, unfortunately. I don't know. I can't find this fucking guy's text. Fuck me in the ass, anyways. Whatever. But yeah.
So how much did you end up spending altogether on this?
Probably close to like 700 with the tow.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I feel for you, buddy.
Just another check in that fucking endless column of W's.
I wonder how many
I'm out here
Illuminati
crushing
are
it.
listening that are angry right now.
Oh, I'm sure all of them. Like every time we mention something about cars, the internet turns into a bunch of fucking geniuses. Oh, you didn't get your Johnson rod replaced? You got to replace the Johnson rod. Fucking whatever, man. Whatever.
In all fairness, Shuddy did figure this out, and I kind of did too during the podcast. I
What,
guess
when
with
Shuddy
the
said that it was
towing,
the battery?
yeah. You're laughing. He was right though, right?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, and it was exactly the same thing that I went through. I don't know, like 7, 8 years ago. But I mean, what's done was done with on the towing front. You already ate the cost on that one. And I guess you might as well just get it checked out.
I
But
can't believe
they definitely fucked you.
I can't
Yeah,
believe they charged you 160. They charged you as much as the battery to replace it.
Yep. Yeah. And what can you do? Can you, like, all the people that are, like, yelling at their phones right now, like, when you see the bill, do you just go, no, charge me less? And then they say, no, pay your fucking bill. I don't know. What's...
Yeah, no, that's true. I'm trying to think of something that could, some advice that I can give you to help you further down the line. But
Once
just
it got
doomed.
towed, you were kind of in it
Yeah,
because you can't get your car out of the shop without towing it out of there. So then you're in the same boat.
Yeah. I mean, and like the guy that showed up with the tow truck tried to jump it.
Yeah, but if the battery was completely dead, jumping it's not going to do anything.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like like that guy got there. Like there was no, unless I gained super strength and put my car in neutral and pushed it out of the hill of my parking garage and then pushed it all the way to the mechanic. Like it was dead. It wasn't starting. Like what the fuck could I do?
Yeah. I think I got mine jumped when my battery was pretty much dead, and I got it. It was years ago. I can't remember obviously, but I got it to drive where I was able to put it in the AutoZone parking lot and switch out the battery.
Yeah, the craziest thing is there were no warning signs leading up to this. Like everything was perfectly fine with the car.
Same on my end.
I drove it the night before. Morning, I went
Did
to
you
go.
maybe leave a light on?
No. Because I
It
never
doesn't, like,
turned any light on.
I don't know. If, I guess the battery doesn't like flicker, right? Like, I don't know.
I guess
Like,
not.
yeah, like you don't have like an indication that the battery is gonna die. I don't know if do you have like a gauge on your dashboard?
I don't think so.
If you did, you probably wouldn't know where it was.
I mean, it's a hybrid, so I get that little, the hybrid messages, but that's a different battery. But yeah, I got that handled, and then I told that story about how I went to the dentist through my dog shit insurance, and it ended up being something out of a Saw movie, and there was pubes on things, and they basically brushed my teeth and sent me on my way and told me to get braces. So I canceled my dental insurance and just went to my old dentist, paid out of pocket to get like a real cleaning because I hadn't gotten one in years. And that went well. It was nice getting like an actual real fucking cleaning other than someone just brushing my teeth and billing my insurance for it. And my dentist told me that I have a saggy uvula.
Yeah,
I was like,
can see that.
All right, that's what we're going. But all right, let me pick you apart for a few minutes now. Geoff, you know what a uvula is, right?
I think it's attached. It's your it's that ball that hangs from the bottom, the top of your mouth.
Yeah, yeah. It's the old cock speed bag.
Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Cool.
But mine kind of like, you know how like in cartoons they're always kind of like bell shaped. It's almost
Yeah.
like a teardrop. Mine's pointy.
Oh wow.
I got a fucking pointy one. And she's like, "Yeah, you're a snorer, huh?" I was like, "Yeah, I snore a little bit. I don't have sleep apnea or anything. I've you know,
Oh God.
some
Did you
doctor."
throw Shuddy under the bus?
Yeah, I was like, "Shuddy Boy does. I'll give you his number if you want to fucking taunt him over it."
Want a sleep apnea client?
I went to the doctor about something once, and they were like, "Oh, you might have sleep apnea." I'm like, "This seems completely unrelated. I don't know why you would suggest that."
My foot hurts.
Yeah. It was something like that. I was like, "Really? Sleeping? Okay. All right, whatever." And they were like, "Yeah, we
Yeah,
Well,
I got hit in the hand by a baseball. I don't. What do you mean?
And then they were like, "Oh, we're going to do like a home sleep test thing." And this was back when I actually had insurance. So I was like, "All right, fuck it, let's do it." And the doctor was like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure you have sleep apnea." I was like, "Okay, jerk off." And then they got the results, and they're like, "Oh, you don't have sleep apnea." And I was like, "No fucking shit." All right, moving on. So she was like, "You're getting a little older, and gravity. You don't often think about the things that age will make sag. It's not just your fucking yam bag and your flapper doodles. It's
Your
also
uvula.
your uvula." And she's like, when you're sleeping and you're breathing, it kind of tugs on it a little bit. So she's like, that's only going to get saggier. And I'm like, so wait a second. Am I going to be just perpetually deep-throating my own uvula at some point in my 50s?
Yeah, could it sag so much that it goes in your throat and leads to like a choking hazard?
Yeah. I'm like, let's get to the end result here. Are you trying to upsell me on a fucking uvula job?
yeah, what do you do for that?
Are you gonna give me some uvula implants?
I think she was just, you're going to give me a big, young, fresh, juicy uvula?
It'd be great if she like just kept it real with you. Like, you know what? I can't really do anything. I just felt like busting your balls about it.
Yeah, you came in
Yeah,
here with a
Uvula
smile.
sucks. You're a pussy.
You came in here with a smile on your face, and I wanted to fix that.
Yeah, I just wanna fucking plant a seed, and you're gonna think about this for a while, and it's
For
gonna
the
eat
rest of
away
your
at you.
life.
But yeah, I mean, the inside of my mouth is a weird place. I know that might come as a surprise. I have to sleep with a night guard because I grind the absolute shit out of my teeth in my sleep, to the point where there's only one brand I can really wear, because the soft ones, I just like dissolve them in a couple nights. Like I just shred them to pieces. And doing that, like all the pressure has built up calcium and shit. So I have like a hook on the roof of my mouth. It's almost like a turtle shell. I have like this hard thingy, and it's also gone down here. And, my bottom. Ugh. So I have these. It's like these huge fucking calcium deposits. So I can like put my finger underneath it, and the gap between it is so small that I can't pull my finger out. You want to see?
That doesn't sound good.
Sounds great. Yeah, I do want to sing.
Yeah. Huh?
What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's that from?
That's from that's like
Being
stress.
gay.
So, the dentist was telling me that like I clench my teeth so hard that it makes it like my jaw just reacts naturally by like producing calcium there. So like I just have these like hooters in my gums on the bottom.
But it's not. Is there going to be like, I don't know, any lingering health issues, or is it going to be like a thing that could bite you in the? I mean, it's clearly going to ruin your life at some point. I'm just
Yeah.
trying to figure out when that's going to be.
Well, I asked that. I'm like, because I noticed this in my 30s, so I'm like, I'm not
All right.
that.
So
I'm not,
when am I going to die?
I was like, I'm not that fucking old. So at some point, are these things going to like meet in the middle and touch, and then just start like I don't know, and
Your
then
tongue just rests on them.
they're like tectonic plates, and then they're going to push upwards and form a fucking mountain. And I'm going to have a mouth volcano. Give it to me straight, Doc. How long do I have? And they're just like, no, that's not going to happen. I'm just like, all right, well, Just let me know if at some point you needed to get in there with a chisel and just fucking knock these bastards off. Like cleaning barnacles off a boat.
What is they just leave them?
Yeah. I hate because like they tell me what they are, and then they have these like 17-syllable science words, and I'm like, well, I'm not fucking remembering that. Can't you just call it like, oh, your mouth has a Joe? Like, come up with a simple, like, you guys can have your fucking 17-syllable fancy science words, but give us like, you know, like a fart is a flatulence. I'm not calling it a flatulence. It's a goddamn fart. I'm not calling this a discombobulated squibbly plobbity gop. Give me a 1 to 2 syllable thingy. What's medicine slang? So I can tell my friends, and then people can look it up and dunk on me on the internet. But yeah, that was my week. How you guys doing?
Your mouth is fucked up, and you got just got screwed by the mechanics.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a pretty light week for you. Could have went way worse.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, shit, my car could be like totaled from whatever happened.
Your car's totaled, and you have mouth cancer.
Yeah, those hooters in your
mouth.
chin, those are actually cancer blobs.
Yeah.
And you're dead.
That's cancer rearing its ugly head. You got, I don't know, 30 minutes, maybe. Call everyone you know.
How was your guys' week, huh?
I don't want to answer that after you just hit us with all the tough luck you had.
Well, I got 3 raises since then, and, you know.
I bought another Bronco.
I bought a smaller Ford Bronco that sits in the trunk of my Ford Bronco.
It's like the fucking Bezos yacht.
Yeah. I had a great time at Bezos' wedding.
Yeah. That actually came up in the Outkick group chat. I think he spent $50 million on his wedding, and that's equivalent to 0.2% of his wealth. That'd be like a millionaire spending $200 on their wedding.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm going to close this app. I'm done here. I already got a bad case on Mondays. I don't need to read this kind of shit.
My dick also grew 4 inches since we last talked.
I gotta look at my fucking iCal. What happened with me? Nothing that cool. I'll tell you that. Coming to hey, anytime my dick doesn't shrink, I'm just happy about it. Did Dragon Ball Queef? Oh, I went on a Duffy boat Saturday night with my brother and his girlfriend, her brother, and a couple of my brother's friends to celebrate his birthday.
Is that
was pretty cool.
Piloted by TV's Patrick Duffy?
No, I think the Duffy boat is just the name of it's just the name of the boat. I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know what the Patrick Duffy reference is.
Is it like the Booze Cruise in
Step by Step, Geoff?
Sorry.
The dad in Step by Step. I mean, he was also on Dallas, I think, or Dynasty, one of those 2 shows.
How was your boat trip? Did you get seasick at all?
I did not. It was cool. My brother for his birthday, he got Korean fried chicken, and his girlfriend made a charcuterie board, so we all just eat Korean fried chicken, kimchi fried rice, seafood pancake.
Like fried chicken. It's chicken.
Drink
it's fried chicken.
a bunch
fried
of
chicken.
Drink a bunch of soju on the Duffy boat. It was a good time.
You really do just have a very narrow lane, and you do not veer.
I mean, I like what I like, you know.
I don't even swerve for potholes.
It's chicken.
It's not.
It's fried chicken.
It wasn't my idea to get the Korean fried chicken. It was Bill's. And for his birthday, we ended up going and getting sushi. His birthday was last night. He had friends and family over for Saturday for the Duffy boat thing, but we just hit sushi on 2nd Street. Played some basketball Wednesday. That was pretty sweet. Got my I really just go play basketball so I can eat McDonald's afterwards.
Imagine what would happen if you got if you exerted yourself physically and then didn't immediately undo it.
I know. I'd be in probably great condition. I'm trying to be healthier while factoring in Wednesday night McDonald's. And it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it might be time to just, cut that out. I mean, it is McDonald's. It's not, it's not like you're going to fucking Nobu. It's fucking fried worm patties.
Oh, okay, that's where you're going with it. I thought you were gonna say it's not very expensive. Because that's what I think in my head. Like it's only $7 with the meal deal thing that I put together, which is you get a free medium soda or a free medium French fry with a purchase of a drink, and you get two McDoubles. It's like $7.30. Beautiful. They asked me at basketball, like, do you ever do anything different? Like, why don't you get something besides McDonald's? I just feel like McDonald's hits so hard after basketball.
That's so weird.
And
you're so weird.
There's a ton of options. Dave's Hot Chicken is open till like fucking 3 a.m. or something out here. Like it's Dave's Hot Chicken's delicious.
There's also things that aren't fast food.
In and out. I mean, what about at 11 at night? Like basketball ends at like 10:30 sometimes. What?
I don't know. I don't know. Go home, shower, go to bed.
No, I gotta watch MasterChef, so I need to snack while I'm watching MasterChef. And I set up my Wednesday so where I can eat after basketball. Like I don't eat throughout the day. I have like a bagel in the morning, maybe like a Trader Joe's energy bar, like a banana.
My entire life is structured around 52 weekly McDonald's visits.
It really is.
I just like how Kevin is over here judging how you live your life when he is doing all this great stuff and he is literally falling the fuck apart.
That's right.
Well, look,
he eats healthy and he's still falling the fuck apart.
Oh, yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with, my mouth titties or my car.
That's true. But those
or
are
your
just
hemorrhoids or your gout or your shingles or anything else. So why don't you just be happy and live how you want to live since you're dealing with all that shit anyway and being miserable eating salads every day is not doing anything for you to combat all that stuff.
Show's making a good point. Just come out of the closet already, Kevin. Just live
if
how you want to live.
If that's what my fucking chart looks like without fast food 14 times a week, what do you think it's going to look like if I add that to it?
Maybe it'll be like me, counterbalance.
I've not heard Geoff say that he gets fast food 14 times a week.
That's true.
We're discussing one McDonald's trip after basketball after exerting himself.
How much fast food do you eat a week, Geoff?
Geoff,
you
better be fucking careful because I just went to bat for you. And you just make a fucking liar out of me.
Geoff is also prescribed.
And B, you should have known that I do eat fast food more than once a week.
Well, I know, but you don't eat it twice a day, 7 days a week.
I don't. No.
Also,
if anything, I only eat like one bad meal a day.
Geoff is prescribed like heart pills that he doesn't take.
Yeah, blood pressure meds. I feel great still.
How's your cholesterol medicine going, Kevin?
I mean, I don't know. Down my throat into my stomach.
I thought you stopped taking it.
I cut it in half, so I take like one a day instead of two, so I don't break out in hives.
I have probably Wingstop once a week, definitely McDonald's once a week, and we'll just throw in a one more just to be safe. I don't know. Do we count Dollar Taco Tuesdays?
Well, it depends. Where's the Dollar Tacos from? Is it a fast food restaurant?
It's from Humberto. There's a guy, Mexicans in a tent that had to dodge ice last week, so they were off the grid.
So a food truck? A food truck?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
That's fast casual, I would say.
All right,
that's
cool.
A step up from fast food.
And like tacos aren't like that caloric. Like it's not like Taco Bell tacos, It's essentially meat, cilantro, onion, and corn tortilla.
You don't do sour cream, right?
No, I don't. No.
I mean,
I'm down for it if it's on nachos.
You're not going to find sour cream as an option at any of those trucks or tents, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, like authentic Mexican tacos aren't that unhealthy. Like, yeah, it's not food that I'm preparing myself. And it's not like strictly vegetables and like clean protein, but it's not like it's not like a McDonald's is objectively a dietary mistake. There's no arguing around it.
And you did
So
also do a snack attack on some Selena Gomez Oreos.
I did.
Which,
I stopped eating them completely afterwards.
So now you're gonna judge him for doing work for us, Geoff. You're just nothing you're
Can't
gonna do
win.
is no. You're gonna lose no matter what.
Shuddy,
I didn't
you
do
really
that for me, Kevin. I did that for the Puminati.
Yeah, Geoff was never going to eat those Oreos. Shuddy, you really missed your calling as the world's worst lawyer. But I will say, Geoff, for the people that do not have a Patreon membership, I know this comes up from time to time, but the stuff you're missing out on by not watching Geoff's snack attacks, I feel sorry for everybody that doesn't get to see them.
Maybe we throw one of those up on the free an old one up on the free tier to entice people in.
I mean, people have
that.
heard the. It gave us an epic drop of when Geoff was eating the Trader Joe's. What were they even called? Like buffalo chicken briskets or something? Oh, do you remember what those were, Geoff?
The buffalo chicken.
Yeah, what buffalo chicken poppers?
It's like, yeah, like I don't know. Hold on, I'll look it up. Buffalo chicken tree.
Well, you have another drop from it because isn't it the phyllo dough?
Yeah, it's just buffalo style chicken poppers.
Yeah,
you got that right.
I thought I had like a long version of Geoff burning himself on those. I think this might be from it.
This is a fucking full-on cheese jizzing right in my mouth, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was that tip.
But yeah, Geoff eating the Selena Gomez Oreos. The 3-tiered process is just magic, and I got to play a clip from the most recent. Well, I guess it's not the most recent because one also you got 2 snack attacks this week. The
most recent one I did was 17 minutes long.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to check that one out yet, but I really want to.
Tres Mexicanos Bocadillos. 3 Mexican snacks.
So here's Geoff trying out the Selena Gomez Oreos. This is just a short clip.
I stand by my original analysis that I want a little more chocolate in here, but it's just nitpicking. I'm just saying stuff, right? No. Oh, God. Look what I did. Fucking stained my shirt. This shirt is just completely thrashed anyways. See, I got holes in it. It's just something I wear around the house. I did wear it outside while I was walking my dog. Whatever.
Yeah.
So
I was performing just aggressive cunnilingus in that Selena Gomez Oreo.
I mean,
it just shot out of I knocked it out of my hand and onto my shirt.
So
it was business though, you know?
I do love this shirt, but I have like fucking 6 more. Anyways.
So that is just 40 seconds of Geoff Clark magic. I mean, Geoff tongue darting an Oreo that falls out of his hand and stains his shirt. If you think the audio is funny, you got to see the video of it. But yeah, we actually did find some of those Selena Gomez Oreos, and I was curious because I told Carl about them, and the flavor combination got her excited, and I was just like, all right. Anytime we get one of those, there's like a new Oreo flavor that's interesting. I usually only eat a couple of them because I'm trying to.
What do you do with the rest then?
Cut down on my sweets. Either Carl eats them, or they just go stale and get chucked.
Bums me out.
It bums me out too.
I'm actually, I haven't eaten all these Selena Gomez Oreos yet. I have eaten more since, but there's like a full like sleeve and a half just sitting on my counter, and I don't want to eat them, but I also don't want to throw them out. My girlfriend makes fun of me about this. I have some like depression era level thinking about food and leftovers and stuff. And that is a genetic hereditary thing because Cheech is even more like that. Like she made meatballs for the Super Bowl party and we didn't finish eating the meatballs. We stored them in the fridge for a few days and she thought they had expired. And me and Cheech disagreed and she was very passionate about this. So I decided I was like, all right, I'll throw them out. And you should have seen the look on Cheech's face when I threw out these meatballs. He was, he doesn't get mad often. He's a pretty low key, like just chill guy, and he was not happy at all.
Meatball.
I felt like I was like charming little mama in front of him. Like he was he was like visibly shaken by this, and I didn't feel great about throwing out the meatballs either. Because if I can't smell raw and they're not discolored, like why can't I microwave them? They would go great for breakfast.
Microwaves kill germs. Everybody knows that.
It's like deep fryer.
You've been meatballed.
Okay, well, I did find. Oh, should I switch pages? So, this is just revisiting a classic snack attack. Maybe we could find this one and throw it up somewhere for free. But the Geoff burning himself because he just can't wait to eat the new Trader Joe's treat is MSPH infamy.
A first bite, granted, I took a corner chunk out of it, but it's all crispy phyllo. It's like almost like little croissants. Was no buffalo chicken mixture, spicy cheese mixture in the first bite. So that's a bit disappointing, but I did kind of take a pussy bite to avoid getting burned. Hopefully my strategy pays off. I don't know. Ow! 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 All right. So, just as I feared,
I just shake it off and keep playing, baby. I didn't take a pause. I didn't pause that video.
Cheese filling, squirted out, and just fucking burned the shit out of my mouth. That sucked. But tastes pretty good.
Right?
Ow! 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 Okay. That bite actually burned, and I couldn't taste anything. So we blow it off a little bit.
Oh, man. Can't beat a classic, right?
Yeah, that's Puminati Patreon Hall of Fame content right there.
Yeah. Check it out. Patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll pay for Kevin's car troubles.
We do have a pretty big thing on the docket, and it is movie related. So I figure before we get to that, I will tell you guys about my most recent movie going experience, which I know the two of you are looking forward to seeing. I went and saw F1, the new Brad Pitt flick, which I'm very surprised Shuddy wasn't there for opening night with his newfound love of F1.
I just didn't have a chance to go have any free time to go see it this weekend.
I'm very curious as to your thoughts, because as somebody who does not know anything about F1, I very much enjoyed it, and we've been pretty vocal in the past on this show about our love of Rush, which is, I guess,
I did watch this weekend. I watched Rush and Days of Thunder.
Interesting. Okay. You had seen Rush before, right?
I have not. It was my first time.
What did you think?
Very good. I really liked it a lot.
Yeah, I have Rush as a 5-dicker.
I made the choice to purchase it because it was $7.99 to purchase versus $3.99 to rent.
Yeah, at that point, you might as well go for it, right?
And since you guys have spoken so highly of it, I figured it wasn't much of a gamble for $4 additional, and it was incredible.
Yeah. So Rush is like, a period piece. It takes place in the 70s about like, real racers, and Niki Lauda. Chris Hemsworth is awesome. Daniel Bruhl is awesome. It's just wonderful film. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And I watched it one day just being like, fuck it. I like Chris Hemsworth. I don't give a shit about F1, but it's a movie I haven't seen. And I was like, wow, was that awesome. I will be rewatching that movie regularly until I die. And I kind of thought the same thing about, F1. I was like, I don't give a shit, but I've also, been proven wrong many times that a movie about a subject that I don't care about can be immensely entertaining. I love Brad Pitt. I love Joseph Kosinski. He makes some great films. So I was just like, fuck it. I am probably going to like this. And boy, did I like it. That is
awesome.
That is a fucking film. Holy shit. And I went and saw it in 4DX, which I've never been to a 4DX screening. I don't know. My buddy Caliph was telling me that Regal Cinemas, which this is the same downtown theater we went to for the Culver City Film Festival when they showed John Cooper. And I guess Regal, the chain, owns 4DX. So I don't know if there are other 4D experiences that are under different names. But I didn't really know what to expect. I know the chair rumbles. I know it kind of like it has other elements, like stuff shot at you, whatnot, fans. And Carl and I got there late, so we were kind of racing to get in. I knew we had a buffer zone of, endless trailers and stuff. So we also didn't get a chance to eat. It was a 7 o'clock showing, so we're just like, fuck it, we'll eat at the theater. They have a bar, so it was just like, why not have a beer? So she split off and went and got the beers. I went and got the food, got us some popcorn to share. The menu was rather unimpressive, so she got a burger and fries. I got a pepperoni pizza, and, we're walking into this thing bear hugging all this shit, and they 4DX the trailers as well. So we got in as the Superman trailer was starting, and I didn't know what to expect. I kind of thought, like, when the N64 came out and Star Fox, and it came with like a little rumble pack you put in the controller that makes it vibrate. I was like, all right, it's probably going to be like that. My seat's just going to like vibrate a little bit. Might give me a boner. I was not expecting some like Universal Studios Fast and the Furious type shit. Like, how amusement parks have those rides that instead of going on a track and being a roller coaster, they hit you with 3D screens and like a tilting moving seat that makes you feel like you're falling or moving really fast, but you actually aren't. That is what these seats do. They're on fucking hydraulics. And I'm holding a beer, a fucking bottle of water, a pepperoni pizza, and this thing's flopping around all over the place. Like, I put the beer in the cup holder, and it's fucking flipping all over the place. So I'm just like, shit, if I don't want to wear this beer, because I got like a tall boy, I just start chugging it. So I chugged about half of it just so it could rest. And then the movie starts with a racing scene, and it's flopping me everywhere. I'm trying to eat this pizza, and I'm going to take a bite, and then it hits me in the eye. And I realized I am going to have to just like crush this pizza fast so I can just get this out of the way. Because, again, I was not prepared for just how much movement these seats had. If it moved just like with one more horsepower, I was going to be like, these things need a seatbelt because it's going to throw me the fuck out of the fucking seat. I had to keep throughout the movie. I had to keep like it was my ass was like sliding further to the front of the chair, so I had to keep like pushing myself up and scooting back. Otherwise, it was just gonna shake me onto the floor. But it was doing like there was one race where it starts raining, and one of the cars goes over a puddle, and it like spritzed water in my face. It's like, ugh, ugh. And then when there were crashes and stuff.
Yeah, like jizz on. Ugh.
Yeah. Like, oh man, I would hate to see a porno here. Please never do a showing of Boogie Nights in 4DX. But the smoke comes out of like next to the screen. So when cars would crash, there would be like smoke pumped into the theater. Anytime there were fireworks, they had these really high up lights that would just like blink, which seemed a little bit unnecessary. The seats had these little flappers built in. So like if someone got rear-ended, you would feel like a push to your back. It was really, really weird. I don't know if I will actively seek that experience out going forward. Because
the only movie I've seen in 4DX was Across the Spider-Verse.
that had to have been weird.
It was wild, and all the kids in the theater. It was like being on a roller coaster at the amusement park with all the kids screaming and hollering every time something happened.
Yeah, there was some audible audience noises when things kicked in, and I was talking to one of my buddies about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I did one movie in 4DX. I did not like it. I found it distracting." He went and saw Top Gun Maverick, and he was like, they even like put it in there sometimes when it's not necessary. Like he was playing pool, and when he broke, my seat vibrated, and I was like, I didn't need that.
That's actually a good point. Huh?
But they did have these, like not non-racing scenes when someone's like driving somewhere. They have one of those like aerial tracking shots just following the car down a road. And the seats would like slowly tilt forward like it was trying to make me fall forward out of my seat. And I was like, well, this doesn't seem very necessary either. The people sitting next to Carl and I, their seats actually malfunctioned and stopped working halfway through. And then they started working again and froze. And they had to watch the rest of the movie tilted on the side. And it's not a brief movie. It's like 2.5 hours.
Were they able? I wonder if they got some sort of like refund for that. I know I would. That'd be fucking ridiculous.
They did go and ask, so I'm pretty sure they got their refund.
Yeah.
But the movie itself was fucking great, man. I mean, I don't know how Brad Pitt is in his 60s and he is still the coolest motherfucker on the planet. Like every scene, I'm just like, God damn it, he's fucking cool.
Yeah, it's like I am less cool, so he can be super cool. Like he has like, I don't know, 1,000% coolness, and I am at like 1%.
Yeah, he's fucking up the grading curve for all of us.
I'm probably giving myself a little too much credit, if I'm being honest.
But yeah, the movie itself, again, not the extent of my F1 knowledge is I've seen Rush a couple times. So they were throwing stuff out there.
Pretty much got the basics.
That Shuddy, I'm sure, because you play F1 racing games, you have yourself like a big boy racing chair and steering wheel. You watch the events on TV. So there were parts in the movie where I'm like, oh man, Shuddy is going to be fucking nutting himself over this.
I'm pretty excited to see it.
They throw all these terms out that like holy shit, I didn't realize. I mean, I know F1 is obviously way more involved than I thought it would be, and you guys were talking about how these guys have to handle tremendous G-forces, so they have to be in peak physical shape and have insane reflexes, which, obviously makes tons and tons of sense. But all the other things that happen, like the way they use certain rules to their advantage, like there are safety cars and red flags, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is like, Johnson's at the line of spinach. Like I'm in the weeds.
Green,
here.
Yellow, red, blue, black. Wait, green, yellow, red, blue, black, and then checkered are the flags.
I will say that this movie was very exciting. The characters were fucking awesome. Javier Bardem crushes it. Who's the guy that's from the other lead? The young kid who was in Snowfall that you like, Shuddy?
Damson Idris.
He was excellent. You even get a couple minutes of Shea Wiggum in the beginning, and what movie hasn't been enhanced by the presence of Shea Wiggum?
I mean, what in general hasn't been enhanced by the presence of Shea Wiggum?
I mean,
he's phenomenal.
Truer words have never been spoken. It was fucking great, man. It was fucking great. Just very, very exciting. The runtime, 2.5 hours, did not bum me out in the slightest. The race scenes were really exciting, despite really not knowing the rules and my chair trying to throw me out of it.
How was the pacing?
It's a fucking blockbuster movie, man. Like, even the downtime, like the stuff in between races, is very engaging. And, Brad Pitt is such a likable character in it, even though he is a little bit of he's the bad boy. You're just always rooting for him. It's just fucking cool, man. Everything about this movie ruled. I'll suck 4.5 F1 dicks.
Nice.
Oh wow! Sound like that was going to be a 5-dicker.
I mean,
what's holding it back?
I don't know. Sometimes we're very reserved with giving out our 5-dickers, and sometimes a movie will start as a 4.5, and then on a second viewing, it's like, all right, my initial instincts were correct. This is a 5-dicker. So another viewing could bump it up. But I do really want to get your guys' thoughts on it too. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say next week. But yeah, it's good shit, man.
Yeah, I'm going Tuesday. Tacos are back. Doing the Tuesday night discount movie night because there's no sports going on. It would be really just a waste of time not watching a movie.
Yeah,
on a Tuesday. And now, did you see AMC's got like a Wednesday movie deal? We probably talked about it.
Yeah.
So you have the AMC pass, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
All right. So you don't even deals don't matter to you.
I might be going to see the new Jurassic Park on Wednesday with a couple buddies. It's just like, oh God, do I want to drive to Burbank? But anyway.
Real quick, did Carl enjoy F1 as much as you, or more?
Not as much, but she did like it way more than she expected.
Nice. Well,
it's just
I can't wait.
I would be hard pressed to see what people could pick apart about it. I mean, there are some story things that are just like, all right, that seemed maybe like it didn't need to be included, or maybe whatever they were setting up there could have been paid off, but like, very well-written characters. The pacing is great. A lot of cool locations, exciting action. Brad Pitt, Shea Wiggum.
Was there any groupies? Any hot chicks?
Yeah, there's a groupie element that's briefly touched on.
Okay. I'm into that.
Yeah.
Obviously. Well, I'm going to check it out in a couple days, and I'll review for you guys in the Puminati next week. I was speaking to Carl a little bit. I recommended The Mortician to her. Me and Shuddy watched the first 2 episodes of it.
I finished it
last week. Did you end up watching The Mortician with Carl?
No.
No. All right.
She had some of it on while I was like writing, but I was, half paying attention. So some of it got absorbed, some of it didn't.
Fair enough. It's pretty rad, but it's neither here nor there.
Yeah. I mean, we gotta get to the meat and potatoes of this motherfucker, and it's been a while since we've done a bracket, and they always get a reaction out of people, whether it's good or people are pissed off about emissions. But an article came out recently ranking, the best 100 movies of the last quarter century. Being that it is 2025, the best movies of the millennia so far. And the movie that they picked as number 1 on this article didn't even make it into Geoff's bracket.
It did.
I saw. And I
actually think that movie was also the last time that I officially won the Oscars bet. I think. I haven't lost in a couple of years. But I remember picking you're talking about New York Times article, and Parasite was considered the best movie of the 21st century.
Yeah.
So,
which I know,
spoiler, not on the bracket. And that's the first thing that we got to talk about here. So, like you said, a lot of people are going to be pissed off about the omissions of the snubs from the bracket, which is fair and expected. I knew once I decided to do this that people were going to be butthurt. That's how it works. And every one of these things, which is mostly college sports, college basketball, college football, the last team out gets fucking pissed. Their fan base gets pissed. So I'm trying to get out in front of this. Also about the bracket, I broke it up into 4 different regions. So there is some overlap with the regions. You're going to have to bear with me. The regions are blockbusters, Oscar nominees, comedies, and elite directors.
Okay.
And again, like, are there lead directors in comedies? And obviously Oscar nominees, of course, but it'll kind of make some sense once I go through the matchups. And I think that having the regions done like this helps keep the intrigue throughout the bracket and make for interesting conversations in the final 4 or in later matchups, not just in the first round. There are, again, it's only a 32 movie bracket. And I spent like far too much time on this, truthfully.
Well,
I
you
hope
are
enjoy it.
Our resident bracket scientist.
I am the bracketologist here.
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of time doing this and knowing that people are going to be pissed regardless. Like, I'm just going to miss stuff. So some of the snubs, Wes Anderson, Guillermo del Toro movies, just all of them. The other thing about the bracket is the only way I can do it good is if I just personalize it, right? So The Lord of the Rings isn't in here. Is The Lord of the Rings probably a top 25 or top 32 movie of the 21st century if you were going by filmmakers and all that other stuff and like industry insiders? Of course. I tried to watch it seriously 6 times and I fell asleep in the first 15 minutes every time. Like, I can't put it on there and then make a point for it. I can't.
I've seen them all once, and one of them I did fall asleep during and have to restart. It seems like it's right up my alley. I've never really been into the Lord of the Rings movies.
Okay, so I want to get, and you mentioned Rush. Rush isn't on the list. One of your Mount Rushmore movies didn't make the list. I was thinking about putting it in there, Scott Pilgrim versus the World, but I couldn't do it because it's like I'm doing the bracket and like I'm just gonna do it to the best of my abilities. I did throw one movie in there that I personally didn't like that much, but I knew it was a hit with you guys, and we'll talk about it when we get there. Other ones quick that are snubbed: John Wick, Along Came Polly, Elf, Pineapple Express, Spotlight, La La Land, which I fucking love La La Land. I really did. I liked it, but I didn't have it on your 40-Year-Old Virgin. Almost Famous is this century.
Oh, wow.
Another just fucking banger. Like, I love Almost Famous.
What about Big Mama's House?
Left that one off. A snub. Close.
Top Gun Maverick. You guys both think that's a 5-dicker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Top Gun Maverick is on the list. Absolutely.
Oh, it is. Oh, duh. Yeah. Okay. Yep. I see it now.
Yeah. The Aviator, another Clark classic, 25th Hour, which I've brought up a bunch of times. I just don't think enough of the Puminati have seen it. I'm not even sure if you guys have seen it, so I didn't want to conclude that. The Fast and the Furious, all of them, I'm not in there. So there are some snubs.
No one's losing any sleep over that.
Right, but it could fall into the blockbusters region. So there are going to be some more snubs, some other things that are going to piss people off. Just bear with me, and it's my list. So ultimately, fuck you. I came up with it. Do your own fucking bracket. What can I do? So we'll start in the left-hand corner region. Hopefully, you can put it out on social media, the bracket. But this is the blockbusters region. For the 1 seed in the blockbusters region, I got The Dark Knight going against the 8 seed, which I misspelled, Casino Royale. You could do just Daniel Craig, James Bond movies, but I actually think Casino Royale is the best of them. So I just went with that to make it the easiest. I obviously my ranking, like I think The Dark Knight wins. I'm assuming you guys do too, but Casino Royale was good enough to at least get in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I think Dark Knight is the better movie of the two.
I agree.
No shade on Casino Royale.
And I think out of Daniel Craig's Bond movies, there are some really good ones. There's a couple, unimpressive ones, but overall, he had a great track record. He kind of got screwed. I think it was by a strike where he could have snuck in like one or two more Bond movies, but he kind of got fucked. But yeah, I mean, The Dark Knight was one of those. That was more than just like a movie. That was a fucking experience for people. Like comic book nerds like myself and Shuddy were, walking around with boners in our pants. But everyday people that have never read a comic in their life, were like, holy shit. It was larger than life, The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger getting an Oscar after a post-mortem Oscar for the Joker. I mean, the Joker has never been more menacing and terrifying, and yeah, that's a five-dicker, and I don't think Casino Royale is a five-dicker, so that's an easy win for Dark Knight advancing.
Yeah, The Dark Knight was a legit event. It was the biggest movie ever at that point, I think. I mean, in the conversation, Heath Ledger dying before it even came out just increased the anticipation. And like the biggest part of it is it fucking stuck the landing. Like most people that watched it were like, fuck, yeah, that lived up to it. It lived up to it. I remember mostly going to see I Am Legend in IMAX so I could see the cold open for The Dark Knight.
Dude, this was the first movie I ever avoided trailers for, and it was difficult. It was very hard to maintain that. I even went so far as to not look at posters, and I was working in Manhattan at the time, and they were, when they have like those like scaffolding put up, and they just get like, like a mini poster, and they just mosaic spackle it to the sheetrock. I was like turning my head like while I was on the bus going home from work, just like looking straight down to not see what Heath Ledger looked like as the Joker. Like that's how hardcore I went with. I have to go into this blind.
Yeah, I was in New York and I saw it there. I saw it on the Lowe's on 34th Street. I think it was the Lowe's, and I remember the line being like I think 2 blocks long. It was fucking insane.
Yep, I went with Naboa, Brandano, and our other buddy who he likes his anonymity, but he pops in on the MSPH Wrestling Zooms, so he knows who he is. But yeah, we all went, and yeah, it was an experience. That was one of those like movie going experiences that like I remember where I was when I saw The Dark Knight.
For sure. The 4 versus 5 seed in this region, again, Blockbuster's region. And this is the one that is kind of like an olive branch to you, Kevin. Not the 4 seed. The 4 seed, Gladiator, one of the few summer movies that won Best Picture. I think it won in 2000, right? So right at the turn of the century, going against 5 seed. Movie I didn't like particularly, or didn't like it that much. Another summer blockbuster movie that was nominated for Best Picture, Mad Max Fury Road, which I know you love, Kevin.
Yeah.
But can you say anything bad about The Gladiator? What do you pick here? Gladiator versus Mad Max.
So those are 2 five-dickers as far as I'm concerned. But when you have a five-dicker going head-to-head with a five-dicker, I got to give it to the one that has more watchability. And I am more excited to rewatch Mad Max than I am to watch Gladiator. Because Gladiator is heavy with the dramatics and, heavy emotionally, and it's longer. And I feel like the white-knuckle action of Fury Road. I remember going to see it at the ArcLight in Hollywood, and when the credits started rolling, I was like, and I was like, oh my God, I've been holding my fucking breath for 2 hours. That was just nonstop. It had,
fair enough.
He's a, oh God, why is George R.R. Martin stuck in my head? That's not the
George
fucking
Miller, you mean?
Yeah, George. Thank you for throwing me a fucking life preserver. He's been directing for since the 70s, and to come out with a modern movie with that much style and that high octane It was just like, yeah, I would much rather rewatch that than Gladiator. So I go with Fury Road.
I second that sentiment.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Gladiator, I only watched recently before Gladiator 2 came out, and it dragged. It was not as well paced as I remembered it.
oh, but you did see when it came out.
Yeah, yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So let's go 3 seed versus 6 seed. The 6 seed, this is where my bracket gets in not trouble, but it's a little murky because I don't think this is a top 32 movie, but it just fits the region. I'm going 6 seed Avengers versus 3 seed Joker. So 2 appearances from the Joker on this blockbuster list. It wasn't the highest grossing R-rated movie ever at one point.
That sounds
the Joker?
right. I think so. I mean, when I saw this bracket, I was like, why did you pick Endgame and not Infinity War?
That's what I was wondering.
You could throw on Age of Ultron, but I'll put them all in there if you want.
I mean, I think Endgame or Infinity War is like the best Marvel movie. It's like,
But would you say it's better than Joker?
I think I would.
I also would.
I mean, I think Joker is, again, a 5-dicker, but I think Infinity War, as far as you're talking comic book movies, and they're tonally just like 2 completely different ones. One's just like grounded and gritty and grungy and real lifey, and the other one is just pure comic book crossover madness. I mean, in the comic book heyday, which probably was, like, at least as far as I'm concerned, around the time that the Infinity Gauntlet series was coming out in like the 90s, the finding a way to bring like all these characters together and fighting like one big giant thing and making it the comic book version of that whole story was way more cosmic than kind of like the film version. You know, obviously split into 2. Endgame was like a time travel heist kind of movie. But I don't know, the way they had all these perfectly cast characters. This is where there weren't really too many thuds yet, and it was just like Chris Hemsworth. Who could be a better Thor than Chris Hemsworth? Who could be a better Iron Man than Robert Downey Jr.? Who could be a better Captain America than Chris Evans? Just like everything was perfect, and the way they had like 1,000 characters working together was just like perfect comic book movie.
All right. Well, I mean, I did it on the fly. I got this. I got my editable bracket here, so I just changed it to Avengers: Infinity War, and we can post this completed bracket when we get finished on the MSPH social channel. So we'll just go the Avengers: Infinity War beating Joker. Going TC for the 2 versus 7 matchup. Going 2 seed Top Gun Maverick versus 7 seed. I went Mission Impossible 3. I think that's the best Mission Impossible. The first one wasn't in the 21st century, actually.
That's crazy.
So it's not even an option. Yeah, the second one was in 2000, and I think the third one was, I think it was 2006. You Google it, but I don't know. Any pushback on Mission Impossible 3 being the one that's chosen?
No,
I have
because
no issue
none
with
of the
that.
Mission Impossibles, for me, are beating Maverick.
Yeah, me neither, obviously. But
It's been a minute since I've seen Mission Impossible 3, but Philip Seymour Hoffman, who would have ever thought that he would be just like that formidable of a villain in a summer blockbuster action movie? And he is just like, man, I do not want to fuck with that guy.
yeah,
Mission Impossible 3 is awesome.
He's I think he's the early Hollywood, the young Hollywood death that bums me out the most.
So I just saw something about Mission Impossible 3 and Philip Seymour Hoffman that I hadn't thought about before. But he had to do some face-off style acting because he had to he had to pretend to be Tom Cruise pretending to be him.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Tom
true.
Cruise wearing the Philip
mask,
Seymour Hoffman
yeah.
mask. That's
Chops.
pretty sweet.
Dude had chops.
So Top Gun goes through easily, huh?
Yep.
Do we want to finish out this region or go to the next region and circle back?
Let's go to the next region, I think.
All right. Going down left-hand corner, bottom left-hand corner, Oscar nominees. I went one seed, No Country for Old Men. Um, Eight seed, this is probably going to be controversial. I love Silver Linings Playbook. I fucking love that movie.
I have to abstain from this particular matchup because I have not seen either of these movies.
What? As an
Whoa.
Eagles fan, you've never seen Silver Linings Playbook?
I have not seen Silver Linings Playbook nor No Country for Old Men.
For a spin-off combo, what should he watch first? I think No Country for Old Men. I mean, you could there's a legitimate argument for No Country for Old Men being the best movie of the century. It's fucking awesome. I don't think there's music in it. I think it's a musicless movie, which is blows your brain, but it's fucking awesome.
See, this, I do think No Country for Old Men is an amazing movie. The ending, I wish it landed the plane better. I don't really like the ending.
Ooh. Did you like Silver Linings Playbook?
I did, but I only saw it once when it was in the theater.
Oh, man. All right. Well, this is where the combo gets stale, I guess.
Yeah. I mean...
So do you just default to taking the one seed? You agree that No Country for Old Men is better, right?
I mean, I've seen it more times. I've seen it much more recently. I think I've watched it within the past year. And I gave it a 4.5 dicker. I don't remember Silver Linings Playbook, really giving me that much of a boner, so I guess I'll go with No Country for Old Men.
All right. It's an upset watch next round, that's for sure. 4 seed, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood versus 5 seed, There Will Be Blood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because I was unable to finish There Will Be Blood. It bored me to death.
That was when I was in my peak film snob days, and I do think it's probably the best Daniel Day-Lewis performance. He's got a bunch, but it was really well done, I thought, and well acted. Kevin, I think I know what you're picking.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is a 5 dicker. I've actually was just thinking about a couple days ago about how that's due for a rewatch. I think that might have been, outside of John Cooper, one of the last movies I saw in the theater multiple times. It's fucking great. I love it.
All right. We got some black on black crime with the 3 versus 6 matchup. Get Out, I have as a 3 seed. One of my favorite mushroom movies ever. This whole topic came up in an Outkick editorial call, and surprise, surprise, the guy who brought it up never saw Get Out, and I was like, I can't let this go. I can't let this go. And I interrupted the meeting. I was like, Get Out is a fucking masterpiece. I will hear no slander on it, none. And luckily, I got out in front, and there was no slander. Get Out versus 6 seed Training Day. Denzel has won Best Actor award in his entire career, and it's Training Day, and I will fight anyone over that on the rewatchability. Training Day still fucking rules.
I will say something shocking right now.
Love it.
I've seen Training Day once.
Oh no, you son of a bitch.
I've also only seen Training Day once.
Okay, well, fair enough. How many times have you guys seen Get Out?
But
Twice.
At the same time, Get Out I've only seen once, and it's my least favorite of the 3 Jordan Peele movies.
Wow. Hey, you re-raised Kevin's hot take with a hotter take. I like it.
Whoa. All right. Thank you for scooping me out of the frying pan when you jumped into it, Shuddy.
Man.
I like Nope and Us significantly more than Get Out.
Yeah, I love Get Out.
I watched.
Fair enough.
Carl and I have been on a hot streak of watching horror movies, and Get Out was rewatched, very recently. And I don't think it's a 5 dicker, but I think I gave it a 4.5. And Training Day, I remember, seeing it when it came out and really liking it, but maybe it's just because it gets talked about so often that it was kind of like The Wire. I'm like, I'm so sick of fucking hearing about Training Day. that I never rewatched it. So I got to go with Get Out.
Should I put it Spotlight in here? Would you guys? I mean, I don't know. I've only seen Spotlight once, and it was awesome, won Best Picture and all. But a big part of this for me is rewatchability. It bums me out that neither one of you rewatched Get Out or Training Day. So I guess I'm on an island on that one. But whatever. 2 seed in the Oscar nominee bracket or region.
So wait, what moves
Oppenheimer.
forward? Get Out?
Yeah. I'm sorry, putting up Get Out. Oppenheimer versus Social Network. I'm pretty sure the Social Network lost to
King's Speech.
Slumdog Millionaire. What was it? Was it King's Speech?
Yeah,
Okay, which is a movie you like.
I do. But
What do you think is better?
A Social Network.
Okay,
And
I think Oppenheimer is getting to the point where it's underrated. Like I fucking love Oppenheimer, and I think people are like kind of whatever. They look at it like Nolan won the award the same way Scorsese won his Best Picture award, which we'll talk about. It was almost like a lifetime achievement.
yeah, I don't know. I think Social Network is a fucking masterpiece. Like
Fair enough.
everything about it is perfect. I mean, Fincher crushing it. Like Sorkin did the script, right?
Yep.
And that it just got announced they're doing a sequel. Social
Which could
Network
also
2.
be good.
Um,
Hopefully they got him training for MMA.
him on that like that electric surfboard with his face painted white so he doesn't get a sunburn.
Yeah.
But like that, I remember that was the first time. I don't know if it's their first score, but it was the first time I was like, "Wow, Trent Reznor is doing a movie score." And I remember downloading the score, which does not happen often. And it is just, I mean, everything about that movie is so well put together. That's an easy one for me. Social Network.
All right.
I haven't seen Oppenheimer, so I can't comment there either.
Wow. Do you like Social Network?
I did enjoy it, but I've only seen it once.
Oh, I've seen Social Network like probably 5 times at least.
Yeah. Bill like just absolutely loves that movie. All right. We're gonna go over to the right hand side of the bracket on the top the top region, which I have comedies. So having this region probably squeezes out a lot of movies some would argue are better, but
Like Second Coming of John Cooper. I know it wouldn't be fair to put that in there, so it had to be excluded. But
exactly. But we're talking to the Puminati. The Puminati likes to laugh, and they're going to appreciate the comedies that I have in here, I believe, with all due respect to the Second Coming of John Cooper. This one's tough, though. The 1 seed. I love The Wolf of Wall Street. It's one of my favorite movies ever. And to me, it's comedy. It's a fucking comedy before anything else. I'll go that versus The Hangover, which I saw 4 times in the theater and I don't fucking regret at all.
yeah, I mean, The Hangover
I feel like.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Sorry, Kevin.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like in this matchup, the seating should be flipped.
Really?
Because of The Wolf of Wall Street is about as much of a comedy as The Martian. I don't think it was meant to be considered a comedy as much as you're considering it a comedy. So I think that should change its seating in this bracket against movies that were written to be hilarious from start to finish.
All right, I'm on the IMDb page. Everything you said is valid. I am on the IMDb page. The topics or whatever the themes: dark comedy, docudrama, epic, raunchy comedy, satire, true crime, biography, comedy. So yeah,
Okay,
there's a
so
lot of
I
different
mean,
places to put it. And well, your critiques are fair, but do you go Hangover? Like, ultimately, which movie do you like more?
I think The Wolf of Wall Street is extremely entertaining. But I like, as far as watching it for fun and to laugh, The Hangover will win every time.
I love it. That's fine. I disagree, but I love The Hangover.
Obviously,
Kevin, break it.
I know you've mentioned before The Hangover is your record for seeing a movie in the theater the most times.
I think I tied it with Inception, which we'll talk about.
I got to say, The Wolf of Wall Street, I do think The Hangover is extremely funny. That broke records. It did a lot of heavy lifting for the comedy genre, which then just, I feel like shortly after, it probably didn't even last a decade before the comedy genre got fucking torpedoed and into the abyss and nobody cares about it anymore. But again, like, obviously The Hangover is funnier, but what I want to watch more again is Wolf of Wall Street. I still remember that was a Christmas movie, and that is in the pantheon of awkward family film going experiences where it's Christmas Eve or something, and I'm sitting next to my mom watching Leo blow fucking cocaine up a prostitute's asshole with a straw, and I'm just like, this is going to be a fun 3 hours. That's how we're starting this movie off.
Fucking sweet.
I love Wolf of Wall Street. I've seen it way more times than The Hangover. I want to rewatch it again, but that's a tough one because Carl hates it, mostly just because Jordan Belfort is such a fucking scumbag that she just can't watch that movie with him being the focal point, where she just hates him so much. But I mean, the Quaalude scene with the fucking white Lamborghini.
That is probably one of the best scenes in cinema, where he thinks he did it perfectly, and it just it hits literally everything between the country club and his house with the fucking Lamborghini.
I mean, like, it's such a good performance from Leo, and Jonah Hill crushing it with those big goofy fake teeth, and this is where we got to most of the world got to meet Margot Robbie, and what a fucking scene stealer from her. It's just pure mayhem. That movie is pure fucking mayhem. McConaughey with the chest thumping. It's iconic. Wolf of Wall Street is fucking great.
All right, so we'll advance that. A 4 versus 5 seed in the comedy region, 4 seed Superbad versus 5 seed Me, Myself, and Irene. I rewatched Me, Myself, and Irene last night at my brother's house for his birthday. We were talking about just the best movies, and I needed to get a Jim Carrey movie on here. I actually think this is probably his funniest performance.
I've seen Me, Myself, and Irene maybe twice. I remember seeing it in the theater and being unimpressed as a kid. As a kid?
How old were you?
I was a teenager.
Yeah, I think just his three kids, that bit is one of the greatest comedy movie bits ever.
I mean, this is an easy one for me. Superbad. Superbad's a 5-dicker. I rewatch it all the time.
Agreed. Superbad.
All right, that was easy. Another movie I watched this past weekend, fucking love, 3 seed. I mean, I love them all. 3 seed Old School, which I originally thought, not originally, but for years thought it was the funniest movie ever, versus 6 seed Anchorman.
I got to say, just circling back real quick, I think the internet is going to take a shit on your head over including Me, Myself, and Irene in the top 32 movies of the last 25 years.
Again, this is one of the flaws of the bracket. I had to have a comedy region, and I think it's funnier than 40-Year-Old Virgin. I think it's funnier than Along Came Polly, Pineapple Express. I would take Me, Myself, and Irene over them.
All right. Edgy choice, but it's your bracket. So Old School versus Anchorman.
The internet's going to shit on my head regardless. I know.
But
whatever.
Some people are going to come to your defense and say Me, Myself, and Irene is a 5-dicker. So it's all subjective. This one is also an easy one for me. I think it's a clear win for Old School.
See, for me, it's Anchorman.
Ooh. Jeff with the tiebreaker.
Well, I went Old School as a 3 seed, so I'm just going to stick with it. We'll advance Old School. Chalk in these first ones.
Both are very quotable, though.
The 2 seed.
Frank the Tank.
The 2 seed Tropic Thunder versus 7 seed Step Brothers. Tropic Thunder is a fucking triumph. It is so good. It's so good. When's the last time you watched it, Kevin?
Let me see. I will have that in my letterbox D.
Have you seen it more than once, Shuddy?
Yeah, I mean, I own it on. Maybe I own it on DVD still, but I've
I
seen
mean,
it within the last year, and
yeah.
it's
Concept, cameos, like storytelling, acting, like it's. I would legit listen to an argument of this being like a top five movie of the century. Or it's just
they've
like,
been filming the Les Grossman movie.
oh, I can't wait.
I last watched it 2 years ago. And I feel like Step Brothers is definitely really fucking funny and also very quotable. But I got to give the win to Tropic Thunder. I mean, it's Oscar nominated. Robert Downey Jr.
All right. Yeah. It could bleed into the previous region. And we're going to go with the final region now is elite directors. It was tough to think of a fourth region name, and I wanted kind of a catch-all, so I went with this. Number one, another movie I think has been overlooked and kind of slept on, The Departed. Martin Scorsese's. It was his only best film, right? Like I know he didn't win before that. That was his first. He hasn't won since. So yeah, it's his only best film winning movie. Well, obviously, it could go into Oscars, but I went with elite directors, and I got that versus my favorite Clint Eastwood movie, another underrated movie. I think Mystic River. I fucking love Mystic River. It's dark, but it's good. Two Boston movies.
Yeah, so this is where I have to perhaps tap out because I've never seen Mystic River.
Ooh.
I've gone to pull the trigger on it, and I know it's like so fucking depressing.
It is absolutely one of those misery porn type movies.
Yeah, like I've seen the scene where Sean Penn breaks down, and I was just like, oh God, just that fucking one scene just ruined my whole day. Crushing.
I've only seen both of these movies once, but I enjoyed Mystic River more.
Wow. All right. Well, unfortunately, The Departed wins since Kevin never saw Mystic River, and I have it ahead of him.
No, I mean that's a tiebreaker for sure.
These are shit. I could also just call it elite directors, Clark Classics. 4-seed Catch Me If You Can versus 5-seed Sicario. I don't have a theme here. I don't know. And
I
my
haven't
brother
seen Sicario.
What?
Oh,
Shuddy. I'm so jealous of you. It's on Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
I made a list titled Movies I Have to See. And I put No Country for Old Men, Silver Linings, Oppenheimer, and Sicario.
Damn. I think out of all of those so far, Sicario's got to be the first one to watch.
It might be, yeah. Silver Linings Playbook kicks ass, too. I mean, they all do.
I got to give that a rewatch.
Rules.
Yeah, Sicario is fucking great. That's another one of those movies where it's just like dread, start to finish, just white knuckle. Like you need a shower afterwards because you're going to sweat through whatever you're wearing. It is fucking tense. That is a tense movie.
Like you get tense when you watch him driving to Juarez. And
oh my God.
Fuck. Oh baby. Like it's on.
That's like Sicario is like, I don't know what you would call it, like a thriller. Because it's not necessarily like an action movie, but that is the closest thing to a horror movie you're getting outside of a horror movie. It is fucking terrifying. You feel like you're in the car with them.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh Brolin's character is completely fucked. It's completely fucked.
Benicio is a maniac.
Yeah, Josh Brolin's character exists. Like he's out there in the world, and it's terrifying.
Yeah.
And then the John Bernthal scene just like completely steals the movie, I think. Like I love that shit.
Yeah. I mean, Emily Blunt is fucking awesome in it. It's a great film. So
I almost want to. I'm gonna make a decision on the fly. Well, let's put Sicario through.
All right.
Got a couple of Tarantino films going back at it. Second and third appearance on this list for Tarantino after Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm going excuse me, three seed Inglorious Bastards versus Kill Bill, volume one or two. I'll let you make whatever argument you want. I don't. To
You
me, it's a
can
toss up.
you can put them together because it
Yeah,
did play overseas as just like one long film. I think they billed it as like Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. And having just recently rewatched all three of these movies, been on a big Tarantino kick this year. I like Kill Bill movies are very, very fun. Like I was very excited for them when they came out. That was back in my like construction days. So I remember I like left from work and I would be just so fucking beat on a Friday after spending like a week on the job site and forcing myself to stay awake seeing them on opening night. And they're great. They're fun, but Inglorious Bastards is a fucking masterpiece. Like I got that. I think that was like a present from Carl. Like I have this really cool big fucking Arrow edition of it. I think I sent you pictures of it. Like it comes with a recipe to make that strudel.
yeah,
It has like it comes with a real coaster of that German bar where they play that game where they're putting like a person on their forehead and they have to like guess clues to see who they are.
yeah.
That movie is, I think, will go down in history as just being studied for its dialogue. I remember the first time I saw it, when I saw it in theaters, I was a little like bummed out by it. I was a little bored. And looking back, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking? Like the performance from Christoph Waltz, Brad Pitt, like Eli Roth is the bear Jew just crushing people's skulls with baseball bats. It's nothing is more satisfying than watching Nazis get obliterated. And I think that's the first time Tarantino has done his like history revision thing of like, this is 100% not how it played out in real life, but it's more fun this way, so enjoy. It's a Hall of Famer. Inglourious Bastards is an easy pick for me.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, I was looking for the. Do you know who the Nazi soldier was that figures out the three from Fassbender, who sniffs out Fassbender?
Oh God, I don't.
Forget that guy's name. That whole scene is fucking awesome, and just how it's kind of like it's like a fun scene up until that, and then it's just like the complete tone of the scene of the room, the setting just changes. You're like, oh fuck, like oh no, like this is gonna get bad for everyone in the room. Everyone in the room's life has just gotten changed.
Yeah, it's not. Oh, fuck, and I feel like an idiot because I just watched this, but it's not Daniel Bruhl, is it? From Rush?
No, it's not. No.
Oh no, because he's the one. He's always like sniffing after the undercover
Yeah.
Jewish girl at the movie theater. Richard Sammel, he's the guy that gets killed by the bear Jew. No, it's not him. Shit. Well, I feel like a dumbass, but like, there's not a weak link in that movie.
Is it August Deal? Is it this guy? I think it's August Deal, and he's not really in anything besides that.
Oh yes, it is
Uh-huh.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, that was him. It's fucking awesome.
God, that
Fucking
movie's
awesome.
fucking so
And
slick.
that guy's character is such a G because he figured it out, and it's like you could go home, dude. He's like, fuck that. All right, two seed Inception, another Nolan versus seven seed. Got good Fincher in here. I guess we had him with Social Network, but I wanted to do it again, and this is a Clark classic for sure. Inception versus Zodiac. I saw Inception in the theater. I think 4 times as well.
That's tough. I do fucking love Inception. Cuz it's tough too because Zodiac is, your true blue Fincher of just being just really really grounded. And Inception is just off into the cosmos with weird sci-fi shit. Man, they're both so fucking good. I've definitely seen Zodiac more recently. Damn it, this is the toughest matchup of the whole one so far, and it's the final one. of the first round. I don't know. What you guys? I need time to think. What are your guys' thoughts?
I have no opinion either way. I have seen both of these films, but once each when they were first available to watch, not in the theaters. So,
Yeah, I mean, I got Inception as a higher seed, and I think it's a better movie.
Damn, it's so tough. I want to give it to Zodiac, but that's still the tiebreaker. The 2 seed pushes it through, so Inception moves on.
All right, let's flip back up to the blockbuster region. 1 seed versus 1 seed The Dark Knight versus 5 seed Mad Max.
It's Dark
Anyone
Knight.
want to do an upset here?
No, it's Dark Knight.
no, nope.
All right. Avengers, Infinity War, on the fly, Infinity War going against Top Gun Maverick. Avengers is the 6 seed, Top Gun Maverick was the 2 seed. Top Gun Maverick might be the most fun I've ever had in a movie theater. I'm going Top Gun.
I'm going Top Gun as well.
All right. I went Infinity War, but yeah, you guys trumped me.
Okay. But you're on the record with Infinity War?
Yes.
Interesting. All right. That pushes those two into the Elite Eight, continuing the Sweet 16 down in the Oscar nominee region. No Country for Old Men versus Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time.
Shuddy, you'd have to go with that one too, right?
I would have to because what would you go?
I'd go No Country for Old Men, but it's an MSPH bracket. There's a reason you didn't see No Country for Old Men. Yeah, I think you've seen Once Upon a Time Hollywood
multiple times.
Yeah,
multiple times.
That's fair. Like I love No Country for Old Men, but it's fair losing to this one. I mean, it's a Tarantino directed movie with fucking Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. Like it's not that bad of a loss. Get Out versus Social Network.
Social Network.
I go
Social
Get Out.
Network.
Yeah. All righty. Going back up to the top right where we got the comedic region. Wolf of Wall Street versus Superbad.
Superbad.
What do you think, Geoff?
I like Wolf of Wall Street more, but like I feel similar to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in this one. Like if Superbad won, I wouldn't. I get it. I remember seeing that in the theater with a bunch of buddies, and we snuck in like a fucking 30 rack of beer. So I don't even know how you can sneak that new. I think one of my buddies knew someone at the counter, and we just were crushing beers and throwing them around the movie theaters. Like the whole thing kicked ass. The whole Superbad experience fucking ruled.
I think I do have to give it to Superbad, just because for a straight up comedy, like it's so rare that they are that good.
Fair enough. Old School versus Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder.
Nice. All right. The Departed versus Sicario.
Sicario.
Man, it bums me out you haven't seen Sicario yet.
I'm abstaining from this one because if Sicario is half as good as you guys say it is, that would win against The Departed for me. So I don't want to put a vote for The Departed.
So that puts a little pressure on me then.
Yeah.
Because to me, I love them both. I do. I love both these movies. And you're kind of lukewarm on The Departed, essentially, right? You give it its respect. Well, no, I mean, Shuddy.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it its respect, but didn't blow you away. Obviously, you've had 20 years to see it more than once, and you haven't.
I have both
Sicario. I'll put that through.
Yeah, I have both of these logged on Letterboxd, and Departed got a 4-dicker, Sicario 4.5, which could get bumped up to a 5 on another viewing.
Oh, Inglourious Bastards versus Inception.
Inglourious Bastards.
Bastards.
Fair enough. Go back up to the blockbuster region. The Dark Knight versus Top Gun.
Ooh. That is a tough one. But
it is.
See, I've got my money on Dark Knight because Dark Knight's a 5-dicker. You guys have given me shit for it, but Top Gun Maverick 4.5.
So I mean, granted, it has been out much longer than Maverick, but in the first few years that The Dark Knight was available to watch, I saw it significantly more times than I've seen Top Gun Maverick since it's been released. So I have to go Dark Knight.
Nothing wrong with that. I think Top Gun, for lack of a better way of putting it, loses a little luster when it's on the small screen. Whereas, like, the difference between going from movie theater to at your house and watching The Dark Knight, it's not that big of a drop off. Whereas, like, if you didn't watch Top Gun Maverick in the theaters, you missed out. Like, you missed out on that. That was fucking sick.
Yeah.
Any disagreement at that point?
Nope.
All right. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood versus Social Network. 7-seed Social Network. 4-seed Once Upon a Time.
Wow. Wait, what was it again?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood versus Social Network.
Wow. So you have Tarantino up against Fincher and Sorkin. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. I got another super, super tough one, but I think I got to go with Social Network. There are a few brief moments where Once Upon a Time in Hollywood drags just the slightest bit, and I feel like Social Network is just... my eyes are glued to the screen for every second of it.
Okay. Yeah, I got to break the tie. I'm going to default to my seating. If Once Upon a Time can beat No Country for Old Men, it can beat Social Network. I'll go with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh dang. Oh dang.
To make the final four. In the comedic region, Superbad versus Kamehameha. Wait a second. Did I forget? Saving Silverman.
I think it's okay that Saving Silverman is not in the top 32 movies of the 20s.
2001. Oh, it hurts.
Saving Silverman would not have made it through very far.
That's fair, but I should at least include it on a snub list. All right, Superbad versus Tropic Thunder. Another Jack Black. And I left School of Rock off, but School of Rock fucking rules too. I don't care what it's rated.
Superbad.
Yeah, it's Superbad.
All right, I had Tropic Thunder ahead of it, so that's an upset, legit upset. 4-seed Superbad. You could argue Superbad. I guess it's easy to argue that it was underseeded in the first place. Going down to the lower right hand corner, which is Elite Directors. Sicario. How do you say the guy's name again? Denis Villeneuve?
Yeah, that's exactly how you say it.
Deli meat Villeneuve?
No, I didn't. No, my official guess is Denis Villeneuve.
Close. Denny Villeneuve.
So do you consider him an elite director yet? Because my brother helped me out with this one. That's the one they suggested. He thinks he belongs in there. I know you love Prisoners.
Yes.
He did that. Dune 1 and 2 kicks ass.
Yep.
A rare franchise that isn't a Marvel or superhero movie.
Kevin loves Blade Runner 2049.
Yep.
That's right.
That's a 5-dicker for me. I think
we love Sicario.
The only one that I was kind of underwhelmed by was Arrival. And I feel like I'm in the minority on that one. Everybody loves Arrival. So
everyone loves it. Yeah. And I actually was underwhelmed by it as well. And he's doing the next James Bond, right?
Yeah.
So I would consider him the lead director. Sicario versus Inglourious Bastards. Tough one.
Bastards.
3-seed.
Yeah. I mean, I love both, but I got to go with Bastards.
Wow. So we got
I know.
a Greg Mottola movie in the final four Two
Oh,
Quentin
shit.
Tarantino movies and a Christopher Nolan movie. All
Wow.
right, going back to the left, final four matchup. First one, The Dark Knight versus Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I have full transparency. I have the Dark Knight as the one seed in this entire tournament. I think it's the best movie in the 21st century.
I feel like I'm just like playing into my own stereotype being a comic book nerd, but I think I got to go with Dark Knight. It blew me away more when I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, throwing a lifeline. I'm not a comic book nerd, and I think it's the best movie of the century. I do like Batman though, but still.
I love The Dark Knight, but I mean, Dark Knight is obviously going on to the championship round, but the argument can be made for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood because I think the final act of that movie is just probably one of the just most like the movie was had a very different tone up until that final act that the first time I saw that I was more blown away I think by that final act of the movie than I was by Dark Knight.
Holy
But I
shit.
love The Dark Knight. I love The Dark Knight. Like I'm not I have no problem it going on to the championship. Like
I
but I
mean,
think that
yeah,
that
they're
third act when they show up to the wrong house is just
yeah, like
they
the whole like history revisionist, like, because I remember like the lead up to this, it's like, oh shit, Tarantino's making a Charles Manson movie, and then it's just like there's like hardly any Manson family shit really until you get to the final bit, and then it's just like, oh, what the fuck, that was crazy. But then, and I know, everybody has seen Dark Knight a million times. It's sort of just like, it's almost like Austin Powers. Like, it got quoted into oblivion. And, like, just the fact that every single human being on Earth did an Austin Powers impersonation for, like, 5 years, does that change the fact that Austin Powers is a very fucking funny movie? It doesn't. It kind of sucks that a bunch of wieners sort of, like, ruined it and beat it into the ground. But, like, the shock of it is gone, but that scene when, like, you want to see a magic trick? I'm going to make this pencil disappear. Like, whoa! I remember seeing that in the theater and almost fucking falling out of my chair. But I don't know. I think, yeah. So, Shuddy's with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm Dark Knight. What do you think, Jeff? Oh, well, you're going Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. And I'm not a comic book nerd. It's not like it pains me to put the Dark Knight that high up there, but it's really just how well done the movie was. It's fucking sick. I remember in the moment, like being like hyped walking into the theater, like, oh, this is gonna be fucking sweet. And like coming out, I was like, whoa, that was fucking sweet.
Yeah.
The first Quentin Tarantino revisionist history movie, I think it was the first, Inglourious Bastards. Dude, when we were in college that came out, we watched it, and one of my buddies was like, how do we know that that didn't happen? Like, how do we know that Hitler didn't go out like that? Like, do we? It's like, yes, we fucking do. We do. Like, it's just Quentin Tarantino doing his thing, dude. He's like, well, we don't know for sure. It's like, yeah, we do. Glorious Bastards versus Superbad. Superbad won the comedic region. Glorious Bastards won elite directors.
As much as I love a perfectly crafted joke, of which there are so many in Superbad, and I feel like it takes a lot to make a comedy that I have seen as many times as I've seen Superbad, and I still laugh at it. And there's like iconic moments as far as like McLovin, like people will be making McLovin references for the rest of our lives. But still having Inglourious Bastards fresh in my mind, I am just in awe of Quentin Tarantino's writing. Like, that script is just fucking perfect, man. It's fucking perfect.
Question. And since you and Shuddy have been friends longer, the McLovin of this podcast, aren't I?
In a way.
So that
that
I guess
take
makes
it.
me Jonah Hill and Kevin Michael Sarah.
Yeah, I guess.
You're Christopher Mintz-Plotz.
Yeah, I'll take it. I like McLovin.
I think I got to go Bastards. What do you guys think?
Bastards.
All right. I was willing to go super bad, but I respect the vote, obviously. So if you had to watch one movie or you had to name the best movie of the century, would you go The Dark Knight or Inglourious Bastards, Kevin?
Wow. How the hell did we get here? That is tough, man. Tough. Fuck. I mean,
Glorious Bastards has beaten Kill Bill, Inception, and Sicario. The Dark Knight took down Mad Max, or Casino Royale, Mad Max, Top Gun.
I think when I watch them both, I find more flaws, if I'm being very nitpicky, in Dark Knight than I do Bastards. So I pick Bastards.
The Dark Knight. I can't pick anything over Batman again.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta go Dark Knight. Question.
Can't hate
So
it.
Dark Knight wins. What do you, Kevin, what do you think is the best movie of the century? Or let's go with your Mount Rushmore Final Four, however you want to hear that. No, I'm putting you on the spot here. You got Scott Pilgrim in there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say my Mount Rushmore of this century so far is probably Inglourious Bastards, Scott Pilgrim, Parasite, and I guess Dark Knight.
Parasite, wow. Okay.
And I know it's like kind of like art house, like, oh, Film Boy likes Parasite, huh? But it's just, I don't know, I've seen it so many times, and the way that story unfolds is just, it's very impressive. I mean, shout out to Bong Joon-ho. Fucking hell of a movie. But I know, you guys, it's got subtitles, reading, yeah.
All that gay stuff.
I've never seen Parasite either, so.
But Dark
Wow.
Knight, I don't know. The reason I went with Bastards is like Dark Knight, I remember there are certain points when Christian Bale hits the Batman voice so hard, it's just like, oh, come on, man. What are you doing? It's too... Like when in the part where they pit the boats against each other and then like all of the cell phones being turned into like an echolocation screen in the Batcave seemed a little bit too far-fetched for me, even for a Batman movie. And I do laugh every time when I think like Batman shows up with Commissioner Gordon. And I think it was around the time when they were talking about like the boats, like the tourists versus the criminals, which boat explodes. And I was just like, when he's like, it's not that simple. With the Joker, it never is. Like for some, I just laugh at that every time and not in a good way. Again, you have to, when you're comparing two juggernauts like this, you have to fucking nitpick if you're going to find a clear winner. And that's, I was just showing everybody my math. But again, I can't hate the outcome here. It's the Dark Knight.
Shuddy, what's your favorite movie of the century?
It would have to be The Dark Knight, followed by Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I'd even throw The Gentleman in there.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Okay.
I love The Gentleman. Like that movie, I think is so much fun.
It is a great flick.
I haven't even seen it. Yeah. We could have put John Wick in here somewhere in blockbusters, maybe.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
like Elf. Elf is a movie I definitely watch once a year, every year, and will for probably the rest of my life.
Sure.
I fucking love Elf.
Green Room.
I haven't seen that, and I was like, I gotta watch it because I've heard this is good. We got the whatchamacallit, the famous MSPH graphic out of it with you and the manga, right? Or no, no,
No,
no,
that's
no,
Green
that's a
Book.
different one. Yeah, yeah. Oh wait, Green Room. Yeah, yeah, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. I haven't seen either, to be honest. Um,
Oh wow.
I
I
haven't
know
seen
that.
Green Book, but I have seen Green Room. Like that's a almost yearly spooky season movie for me, even though it could be watched any time of year.
Like I love Almost Famous. Still love that movie.
I'm a
I
golden god.
I think this is not. I don't think it's random, but like Along Came Polly. Like I fucking love that movie, but I'm pretty set with the list that I have.
Yeah.
All right,
There you
there it
have it.
is.
There it is, Puminati. Best movies
Dark
of the
Knight.
century bracket. That's definitely
Comment,
bound to rile some feathers.
yeah, comment with any snubs that we didn't mention, or what you thought was what you think is the best movie of the century, and maybe your Mount Rushmore, Final Four, whatever.
So before we take off, I did want to throw one quick thing out there. So I and this is almost getting ahead of things for something that's probably coming Shuddy Boy's way, but I was listening to Doug Loves Movies. It's pretty much the only other podcast I listen to at this point, and he had this filmmaker on who had this movie called Rats, and I remember hearing him talking about it and doing the interview and stuff, and be like, all right, that sounds like an interesting flick. I'll check that out. And I was just scrolling around because Carl, like I mentioned, she's really been wanting to hit the horror movies hard lately, and we were scrolling around Shudder. And that movie Rats showed up, and it's not about the animal rats. It's about like ratting on people.
Performance. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like a comedy. So I was like, wait, why is this on Shudder? And I was like, this is definitely not a Carl movie, but I'll watch this when she's like, I don't know, teaching yoga or something. And holy shit, this movie is batshit crazy, fucking bonkers. Like, and it's bonkers to the point of like Greasy Strangler level. It's absurd. It's weird. It's got like these running gags that feel like inside jokes. You're like, where did this come from? And then all of a sudden you feel like you're on the inside of it. But it is one of the most bonkers film watching experiences I've ever had. It is. I put it on and like, the first bit of it plays out like somewhat kind of like, okay, see where this is going. You got kind of like a low budget indie comedy thing happening. And then I was just like, oh my, what the fuck? Like the scene where it really kicked in for me, where I was like, okay, now I know what I'm in for. This is just like, an absolute insane, fucking absurd cinema, start to finish. I won't spoil it, but a toilet scene. And it was one of those movies where I feel like if I was still in my earlier days where people got together in large groups and hung out regularly, kind of aged out of that, but like, getting together at someone's house, cracking some beers, putting a movie on, this would be one of those movies that would be like endlessly quoted amongst my group of friends, and Geoff Clark would absolutely fucking hate it. But the whole time I was watching it, I was like, oh my God, Dominic has to watch this. Like, Dom has to watch this. I even texted him, and he was like, oh shit, that's actually been on my radar. And I was like, this might even be a what the fuck did I just watch? Like, you should force Shuddy to watch this too. So Shuddy, be on the lookout for that. But if you have the means to watch it.
It's from 2024?
Yeah, it's a recent one.
Yeah, Carl Fry directed it.
I think I had two directors when I was
and Maxwell Navansky.
If you don't
shit.
mind watching some weird, out there, gross, just like if you watch Greasy Strangler, you're like, yeah, this is my shit. AKA not Geoff. This is definitely a good one to like watch with a group of friends, because you will just be laughing and be like, what the absolute fuck is happening right now? I want to try and see if I could like reach out to these guys and interview them. Like, get them on MSPH or something, because I have so many questions. So many questions. But I just wanted to throw that out there as just like a random recommendation. I know we do have our pocket of movie junkie listeners, and every now and then, when you've watched so many movies, you need something to just like bash you over the back of the head with a baseball bat. Just be like, oh, there are things out there that break the formula and get as bizarre as humanly possible. And I like seeing that there's still a spot where weird people can make weird movies for other weird people, and it's got a home. So I'm pretty sure if you don't have Shudder, you could rent it. And it's not a horror movie, which I found very strange. But yeah, Rats with an exclamation point. Whoa. Fucking whoa. All right. Movie-heavy episode there for you guys, but I know people tend to enjoy the brackets, and it's not like we went with deep cuts here, so I'm sure everybody... I'd be curious to see what other people had ending up as their winner. And when you're making the decisions yourself and it's not left up to a 3-person vote, I'm curious what the Puminati has to say. And you can chime in. You can leave comments on YouTube, our Instagram, and if you want to check out the YouTube, youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Thank you, Geoff. I know that it was a ton of work for you, and I think you said Bill and Cheech had some input.
They did, yeah. And if you're gonna talk shit, which is fine, like whatever. Like, I'm not gonna be a pussy about it. You can talk shit, but I do challenge you to do your own bracket. Then, like, how would you put like? It's tough coming up with the best 32 movies and then putting it in some sort of like logical order. Like, so if you're gonna talk shit, by all means, just have a bracket. I want to see, like, what do you have? It's tough.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. And I hope you guys had fun listening.
Yeah. Oh, I certainly had fun. So shout out to you and your brothers for all the hard work. Much appreciated. And if you guys need more MSPH in your life, please check out our Patreon. I mean, I don't know how you could hear Geoff reviewing the fucking Selena Gomez Oreos and not want to see what's happening there. But patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. We just
Oreo porn, baby.
Just did a Dragon Ball Queef, 2 snack attacks. What the fuck did I just watch with Shuddy and Dom dropped? Crafter Geoff is going. It is busy, busy, busy. Busy, busy, busy. And it supports the homies. So why not check it out? What else? You can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
Geoff Records.
And at MSPH Podcast and at John Cooper Movie, if you wouldn't mind. And if you want to get yourself one of these posters, a signed Second Coming of John Cooper poster, just go to etsy.com/shop/John Cooper Movie. And Outkick Bets, are you still on the hiatus?
I am. Yeah, it's the dog days of the summer. I'm not going to do a podcast in the fucking John Deere Classic this week. I will have bets that'll be on Outkick.com. I'll share them on my X. I like Michael Thor Bjornsson, Kevin Yu, Lucas Glover, and Bud Colley this week. But that's your podcast for the John Deere Classic. Go and subscribe to the Outkick Bets podcast. The new one will hit your feed whenever I publish it. I'll probably do one next week for the Scottish Open and then the Open Championship. Then it's football preview season.
There you go. Check it out, friends. All right, everybody, thank you so much for listening. And until next time, something